What's going on, world? Brian Wright here, and you're now tuned into the Brian Wright Radio Show, where we offer content in the form of value that'll help you change your mindset, change your life, and become the best version of yourself. No matter what race, creed, religion, sex, gender, I don't care. Wherever you come from, because I don't judge any of that stuff. And to me, we're all the same. And like I said, we all just walk in different paths. First of all, I want to say thank you for being here. And I want to say that I want to thank God for giving me another day on this earth because every day that I wake up, I get an opportunity to change my life. And you should think about it the same way because some people didn't wake up this morning. Some people didn't wake up with the capability to walk, to use their arms, to use their, most importantly, their brain. If you woke up with all of your limbs and you have your brain and it's functioning, just take the time to thank the universe, thank God, thank whoever you think. So today I was going on my little stroll around the park, right? And I was getting connected with nature, because I feel like when you need ideas, when you need guidance and stuff like that, just go for a walk out in nature and just clear your mind and just think. The ideas are going to come. They always come to me in that form. So I was out walking today and I was just thinking about my life and how much time has went by. I'll be 35 years old this year. And if you ask me now, I would say that it was like a blur. Some memories I remember, some I don't. But it went by so quick. Like you ever sit down and just look at your life, especially people that are getting older. I'm not going to call us old. Don't disrespect us like that. The people that are getting older, right? Look how fast time has went by. I remember my godfather used to tell me all the time, Brian, time is flying. Time moves so fast. And as I get older, I'm starting to see, man, he was right. Time is moving. Time waits for no man. That's where that terminology comes from. And I was sitting down on the seat at the park, and I was just thinking about at the same time how much time has went by, how much time that I wasted was on my mind too. And when I think back on my life, I had an opportunity to be further than I am right now if I just would have took time to do what I need to do. If I would have said, you know what, I'm going to party a little bit, but I'm going to get my certifications up. I'm going to network around the base. I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. Everything that's going to project me upward. Then today's world, I would be further along, I feel like. But what was I doing? I was chasing and going to the club and getting drunk and hanging out with people. And that's fine. Like I said, I'm not against the human experience, but I feel like if you're not where you need to be yet, you need to limit that stuff. Am I saying never do it? Absolutely not. I have this thing now. I go out and party big when I accomplish something. I don't just go out to party just to party, but to each its own. But I was just thinking about all that stuff and I was like, man, dude, today I don't have time for none of that. I'm getting serious about my life. And that is today's message. I don't got time. Life is serious. It's serious. Time is going by super quick. And I'm trying to grab hold to it. And I'm looking at my life and I'm like, man, I need to buckle down. I need to start improving myself to the point that when I get older, things are already taken care of. Because you have to think about this, right? You have to think about this. You're only getting older. So you got to look at it like, who's going to take care of me? Who's going to look after me when I can't walk and my brain is not as good as it used to be? My eyesight is not as good as it used to be. My hearing is not as good as it used to be. And if I don't do something about it now, then honestly, I have no idea who's going to do it. I'm hoping that it be some family members. I'm hoping that it be my daughter, God bless her soul. I don't know what the future holds. I really don't know what the future holds. And none of us do. We're currently living in the present moment, and that's all we have right now. Tomorrow's not guaranteed to none of us. So, getting back to the message, I don't have time for stupid stuff no more. I'm talking about limited time, if any at all. That's why when people call me and they got nothing but drama in their life, oh, I got to call you back. People call me that's over the years, they've been borrowing money 24/7 and they ain't been giving it back to me, or they give it back to me late. They call me these days, "Hey man, can I borrow $20?" "Hey man, I'll call you back. I ain't got it." And it's not me trying to be mean, but I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't have much time to be giving to people that are not trying to go in the direction that I'm gonna go, because they're only gonna bring you down. I don't have time to talk about what so and so is doing. I don't have time to talk about what they're doing. I don't have time for any of that stuff. I don't have time to be hanging out all kinds of night. I hang out a little bit at night, but the vibe got to be good. It can't be no crazy stuff going on. It can't be no people talking crazy. It can't be no people that can't handle their alcohol. When I go to a bar, when I go to a club, whatever, I ain't been to a club in a while. I usually go to the bar. But when I go to a bar, it has to be mature. I can't just go to a bar and people are acting crazy, or it's known for people fighting, or definitely not people shooting. I don't want to leave this earth without doing what I need to do. So what does that mean? That means that my time is very limited. That means that in order to get me out of my routine, out of my schedule, you're going to have to come with something big. My niece's birthdays, my mom's birthday, my family time stuff and stuff like that. And if it ain't that stuff, then it's working on my craft. It's working on things that I can do in order to improve myself for the future, so I can take care of my future self. See, most people problem, and I've been there before. And if you're about 20 years old and you're hearing this, be glad. Stop wasting your time. And it was told to me from my seniors, hey, don't waste your time. Time's gonna fly. You need to be getting your stuff together. But you like, oh man, you old heads. Y'all don't know what y'all talking about. That's exactly what these young boys be saying today. You be trying to give them some game, and guess what they do? Nah, man, I hear you, but you just an old head. Or I'm telling you, you going to be here sooner than you think. I remember being 20 and being told these type of things, but I was just living in the moment. And that's what most people are doing. Most people are living in the moment and not thinking about their time. They're not thinking about their future. They're not thinking about who's going to take them in at an old age, and making sure they got enough money set aside where they can afford them a nurse, where they can afford them a place to stay, and all those good things that you need at that age. Because I'm going to be honest with you, and I hate to say this, nursing homes, in my opinion, should not exist. They do serve their purpose, but it's like a place for people to go stay because their people don't feel like dealing with them anymore. Like, I want to have it to where when my mom gets older, she can stay with me and I can hire a nurse for her and things like that. But my mom, she's about to retire, so she's going to have a check coming in, so she's going to be able to afford to do that type of stuff. Most people, they're not thinking about their retirement or any of that stuff. They're just living in the present moment, partying, 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 partying. Relationship after relationship after relationship. And like I said, there's nothing wrong with it, but it's not for me anymore. I don't care about what's going on out there. I don't care to chase anybody. All I care about is improving my life, getting my goals done. And anything else, I really don't have time for it. And that's what you need to apply to your life also. Is your time wide open? Think about it. Can anybody impede on your time whenever they feel like it? Or are you guarding it? Because remember, we'll never get this time back. That's why time is so precious. That's why you should covet it. Like most people, they're all about money. But it's like, no, money, we done all been there before. And if you ain't been there, then you're going to get there one day. We've all been broke and we've all made back money. But how many of us has went back to 18 to 21? Time should be at the top of the scale. It should really be at the top of the scales. Time should be at the top of the scale. But, they don't tell us to value it. They never told us to value time in school. They never did. They never told us, like, you got to take the time that you got and then you got to apply yourself. But maybe they did. Maybe I just wasn't listening, because God knows I wasn't the best in high school. But I'm telling you though, time is of the essence. And if you keep wasting it, then you basically wasting away your life, your legacy, your family that comes after you. Wasting time affects so many people, but we act like it don't. I'm going to be honest with y'all. My mother was on welfare, right? Her mother was on welfare, and her mother was on welfare. So I was part of a generation of welfare because honestly, I can't really say what went on in my great grandma time because I don't know. But were there people thriving? Absolutely. Maybe she just was dealt a bad part of cards or a bad part of life, whatever you want to call it. But it was a lot of time wasting going on. It wasn't a lot of people sitting around going, let's start a catfish business. Let's start a lumberyard business. Let's start a cleaning business. Let's start a maid business to go work for people and make our own money. Like there was none of that. So what happened? When I grew up, my mother learned from her mother, and her mother learned from her mother. And the same thing was passed down over and over and over again because people are wasting time. So keep that story in mind the next time you're just sitting around with a bunch of people talking about nothing, probably smoking blunts, probably drinking alcohol, probably with one of the girl of your dreams, and ain't nothing wrong with that, or the guy of your dreams, and ain't nothing wrong with that. But I'm gonna tell you what, that person might not always be there. Like I told you, we don't know what the future holds, but we hold the future right now in the present moment. So that's the message of today. Stop wasting time. Whatever your goals is, go achieve them. Because like Brian Tracy say, do it or don't do it. But the time is gonna pass. And you rather have the time pass that you spent doing it and building towards your future. And with that being said, this is the Brian Wright Radio Show. I'm glad y'all tuned in. I hope y'all got something from this. Gone.